Hello fellow woes, this is Landro for LandroeGaming with part 2 of the Restoration Druid PvP video. Part 1 focused on talents and glyphs and can be found via clicking this link. This is part 2, this is more sort of those talents and glyphs in action. Now, interesting thing to remember with Restoration Druids is how important it is that you start from Prowl. Not only because you have Pounce, which is a very, very important ability, which I utilised here in this instance with this Warlock, but you also have other things to remember. By starting from Stealth, you more often than not will get a head start in the encounter. It's very, very important. And it's good to remember that even though we're a Restoration Druid, even though we're a healer, to have the ability to go into Cat form and to go into Prowl is really, really important. This particular BG is obviously very good for Restoration Druids. It seems to be really well designed BG, especially for this class. Not so good from a healing perspective because the way that the damage kind of builds up and the way that our healing is a slow ramp up but high up time once it's up. It's not actually good from a healing perspective, but the fact that we've got travel form and various sprints and all that kind of stuff is a bit like carrying a flag, and from one side of Wolsong Gulch to the other you can do it quicker than anybody else, so it's really important to remember that. But this is what I was talking about by opening from Stealth. Now this hunter obviously didn't know I was about, and I'm halfway into casting my Cyclone before he even notices me, 3/4 of the way through before he even kind of registers a shot with me, and before he knows that he's in the Cyclone. Now I'm just trying to control this hunter basically. We've got the upper hand in this particular battleground, and I'm just kind of having a bit of fun really. One thing of note is worth remembering with Restoration Druids is we are quite a squishy class. Now that's there's no denying that. So we can get soloed pretty much if we don't play properly. So things like LOS is very, very important. Now here I use a Typhoon into an NS Cyclone, and I'm basically just controlling the hunter. And before I know it, the purple orbs return. So off I shoot, I displace the beast, and I've got the orb. And I'm a goner. So there's that kind of playstyle that we have, that kind of option from our playstyle. But it all came about really from me getting the upper hand and starting to control that encounter with Hunter by starting from Stealth. So point of note really is that it is always good to be in Prowl if possible. If you're rushing to get some boxes, it's not viable. But more often than not, it's a good to get there a little bit slower, but get there in Prowl. So that's worth thinking about. And that's a good sort of addition to our gameplay style. Now, there's other things that we have, as you saw before, displace a beast. Now, at the start of this BG, it's important to remember that you can actually displace a beast to get to the point, to get to the orbs a little bit quicker. Now, if you get to that orb just a second before your opponent, then you're suddenly on the upper hand. You're starting to accumulate your points a little bit quicker. So don't be afraid to use things like displace a beast to get to flags quicker, to get to nodes quicker, that kind of thing. Now, in general, we have lots of other abilities that we can utilise. Things like Bash. As I said, I like taking Bash. It gives you that breathing space to put yourself free from opposition, but also to put pressure on your opposition. Now, this instance here, I was trying to help out a hunter friend who kind of like disengaged, and before I knew it, he was off around the corner. So I'm on my own. Now, you get stunned as a Restoration Druid, and you've got one really good spell at your disposal, and that's Bart Skin. We talked about that earlier in the previous video, and how good Bart Skin is. Now, one of the other benefits of this spell is it can be used while stunned, so you don't always have to use your trinket. Now, sometimes, with a lot of other healing classes, it's kind of like an instinct to use your trinket straight away. But it is worth remembering that you can save it, and obviously by being able to save it, I then was able to trinket out of a fear to help my friend get away. Now, this bit of my playstyle is something that I've kind of like worked on quite extensively, and it's the jump, turn, Typhoon, and away you go. Now that not only blows oppositions away from you, but it also gives them that daze, which I spoke about in the other video, and enables you to shoot off away from your friend. So it's a simple tool at your disposal, and I highly recommend getting used to using it. And as I said, it's basically you jump, you spin round whilst you're in the air, you hit Typhoon, and you spin back round to run the way you're going. You'll see me use that quite a lot. It's a really, really good tool to have at your disposal. Now, this is basically showing the power of tree form. As you can see, they're really going to town on our flag carrier here, and I was able to keep them up with ease because of tree form, and enabled our DPS to get on top of the situation and to effectively score a kill. So it is important to remember there's lots of different things you've got at your disposal, and this bit of footage shows hopefully a lot of those different abilities in play. Now firstly, I noticed my flag carrier is quite low on health. There's Shadow Priest going towards him, and my first instinct is to control that Shadow Priest. Now obviously a Cyclone is a huge spell. It actually stops him getting his dots onto my flag carrier and gives me a few seconds to get up and running with my heals. Now obviously he actually trinketed out of that and he got put into a fear directly after that, so straight away you've got a lot of breathing space then. Now another Shadow Priest comes around the corner. I use my Typhoon trick there, as you probably noticed, the jump Typhoon turn. My flag carrier is intent on actually getting away. Now some flag carriers will do that, they won't actually stay with the healer, they'll just leg it, and that's fine. If you get silenced as a Restoration Druid, you can still use Displace of these, and that's very important because it enables you to be able to get away, get line of sight, get back on top of the healing with your friend, of your flag carrier. And the flag carrier's only got 300k HP, so it's a bit of a challenge to protect him enough to get him over to the other side. But a combination of healing and controlling, as you can see I cycling this Shadow Priest, and then the damage that character would be doing is now entirely mitigated. So that's why it's important that you can use Shadow Priests, Cyclones on classes. You can use it as an offensive spell to set up a kill, or you can use it as a defensive spell to ease the damage on your friend or your flag carrier. And remember, it's also a good thing to remember that although it does diminish return, and it does diminish return with a lot of other CCs, you can actually put it on multiple targets. So I put on this Hunter here, he uses his trinkets. That's two characters now who use their trinkets to get out of CC. And you can switch to a third character then, and you're all the time, you're easing that healing, you're making them use their trinkets, you're making them think about other stuff other than merely attacking the flag carrier, and all the while you can use your other spells. Displace a Beast, another point of note, once you have Displace a Beast and you're in cat form, it automatically puts you in cat form. If you come out of cat form to get heal off, the speed increase that you get from Displace a Beast does actually remain, so that's pretty cool to note as well. And all the while you're keeping your hots onto your flag carrier, you're making sure it doesn't die, and you're doing things like this. Now this is the best thing that you can do in this game, is blowing people off edges. Now as you can see, this Hunter was coming up the corner there, I got a Typhoon off, and before you know it, he's all the way down there. Now that's really cool. That's actually a really nice feeling to have, and you can actually then get back on your flag carrier, saving their lives. You've just blown somebody off the edge, and you can do that. A lot of arenas, a lot of BGs where there's different ways you can utilise Typhoon, but that's obviously a really good part of Typhoon. It's the fact that you can do that sort of thing. So hopefully some of those showcases there have shown you how I use my spells. There's other things such as Hibernate, which you can use, as I said, if you catch a Druid in travel form or cat form, or a Shaman in travel form, you know, in Spirit Beast form, you can actually hibernate them, which is another form of CC that you've got. You can do it to hunters' pets and all those kind of things, so it's quite cool. To remember that Hibernate is a useful spell. You don't see Druids use it as much as perhaps maybe they can. Another very good spell is obviously Entangling Roots. Now you can use that to give yourself some breathing space, especially in tree form where it becomes an insta-cast. But you can also use it to give friends breathing space. As you can see, this Warlock here is getting attacked by this DK, and you can use Entangling Roots to enable your Warlock to get far enough away to start getting some free casts off and to blow up a Warlock, to blow up a DK. So you've got lots of CC, you've got lots of offensive spells, you've got lots of speed increases, lots of ways that you can benefit your team. I try and blow this Druid off the edge, I just mistimed it slightly. Would have been quite cool, but again, you can get the bash on, then he's suddenly there. You can get roots on, and he's then stuck in his roots for a bit. Anybody who plays Druid knows that shape-shifting kind of clears roots and snares, so it's not exactly hard for him to get away again, but you can try your best to keep them rooted. Okay, it was a Resto Druid in this case, but if it wasn't a Resto Druid, if it was, say, somebody else who didn't have those same sort of freedoms, you could have actually got them rooted long enough to do a bit of, for your team to catch up with him and maybe get a kill. So basically, I done the showcase, and I'll just let this BG play through now. You'll get to see me utilising some of the things that I was speaking about, some of the spells and some of the abilities, and see how I play. As I say, I'm still learning Druid, and my hints and tips, my playstyle, how I've come to utilise the class. I'm sure, I know for a fact there's much better druids than I, and there's lots of really cool videos actually on YouTube, so check them out. It's worth watching. But we'll flick some music now, and I'll just show this BG, let it play out, let it, and basically let you see how I play and how I play Retro Druid. If you've got any questions, feel free to ask me in the comment section. Check out some of my other videos. There's some priest PvP videos, there's lots of Druid and PvP videos. I've got some tutorials, some rare mount tutorials, those kind of things. I'll be doing a lot more PvE videos in the coming months as well. I will have a little bit of downtime whilst I move. I'm moving to a new property, and does mean that I probably won't have internet for maybe a month, but I'll try and get some videos lined up to come out. I'm going to keep doing some more PvP over the coming weeks, because I really like PvPing at the moment. I'm looking forward to 5.3 and seeing the changes that are coming. And hopefully anybody watching this video who's thinking about going resto and likes what they see and wants to sort of have a crack at it, you know, it's worth doing. I really recommend it. They are a really fun class to play. They're maybe not the most powerful healers at the moment, but they have a lot of utility about them, and they are a fun class, and that's what the game's all about. It's all about having fun. So, you know, do go with it, persevere, get them up to 90 and have some fun. Who knows, their day might come. Might be just around the corner where they become the best class, the best healing class, you know. So fingers crossed. If you want to check out my other video talking about the talents, the glyphs and all that, please do so. But for now, I'll leave you some music. Thanks for watching this video, thanks for watching my channel. Like, comment, subscribe, all those usual things. It really does make a difference. Every comment, every like, every view I get makes it's a huge motivation for me. So thanks very much. Landro out.